Alrighty, boys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Now, I know it's been a while I haven't made a video because, as you can see, new room, moved house. So yeah, that's been taking up most of my time. Anyway, today we are going to be making a blue themed loadout for CS2. Now, some of these skins are very cheap, but some of them are very expensive. So I'm not going to have a total price because there are more than one skin. And obviously, if I try and make a total for every skin that I have here, it's gonna make the entire thing difficult. So I will include knives and gloves. I'll show you a couple that will work for this theme, and yeah, let's go. Right, so starting off with the pistols on T side, we have the high beam Glock. Now this is around 50p, so it's nothing too expensive. This is factory new, as you can see, 002, so you can get a low flow, very cheap, and with the new lighting, I'm getting like flashbang diarrhea right now because of that. So yeah, nice and flashy. Now the next Glock we have, like I said, we have multiple skins or multiple options for different skins. So some of them only have one because I could only find one that I personally liked. But here we've got the Glock Twilight Galaxy. Now it looks beautiful. I want it. I will be getting it because I personally am going to be building this blue loadout eventually. But this skin, right? This is field tested, bearing in mind. It's £135 for a Glock that's pink. Yeah, it's fucked. Why is it so much? I don't actually know. Maybe it's just rare. It's just something that will never be able to be get again unless you buy it. But it's a beautiful skin. I want it. However, the high beam is a perfectly viable option as it's got blue and it's shiny and it's more than like 1,000 times the price. Less, like downwards. Right, moving on to the Desert Eagle, we have the Midnight Storm. Now, ignore the sticker on this. I have bought this Eagle and it's currently trade locked, so I will be getting rid of it. But this skin is factory new, right? 0.04 wear. It's factory new, and look how scratched it is. And what factory did this come from? Like UPS factory or something? Like, hello? You'll see for the next Eagle that I have lined up as well, it's kind of a similar vibe to it. It's also scratched up slightly, and I don't know why because it's factory new. But this is around £20 ish, give or take, 20 to 25 pounds, and it's a beautiful skin. I wish it was a bit more shiny because it looks like it should be, but it's a beautiful skin. And this is the Eagle we have. As you can see, the next Eagle we have is the Cobalt Disruption. Now, like I said, this is also factory new, but is also scratched to shit. Why? I wouldn't be able to tell you. And especially for this skin, you're paying out around £80+ for a factory new skin. And you'd think if you're buying that, you'd hope it's not crap. But yeah, these are the two Eagle skins. Whatever floats your boat. Personally, Midnight Storm is my cup of tea, but I know people who would prefer this kind of look as well. Right, moving on to the P250, we have the Undertow, which is factory new again, and it's also £80. Now this is a questionable skin just because it's a P250, and I don't think many people are going to want to spend £80 for a P250 skin, considering you don't really use it that much. Let's be real, no one really uses a P250 other than maybe once a game. £80 for one game, bit questionable. It's a very nice looking skin. It perfectly fits the blue theme, like blue and black, can't go wrong with it. But £80, not too sure about that. And then again, we have multiple options for the P250. So this time we also have the X-Ray. Now this is slightly greenish, but it's like a greeny blue. It's like a cyan more. And this is also factory new, and this is around 50 to 60p. So this is perfectly in a budget for everyone, and it's not £80. And I feel like for the price to gun ratio, this is better value for your money than spending £80 for a P250. Right, so next up we have the lovely dual Berettas Cobalt Quartz this time. Now this particular skin right here, like these exact ones in factory new, cost about £1. However, I did not pay for this. I got this from a drop after a game, and I was very much confused because I've never seen anything that expensive from a drop. They're normally like 2p. It's like one of those grey skins normally. For a purple skin, I thought that was quite rare, just saying. Right, so for the Tech 9 we have the blue titanium, which is also factory new, but this is around £6 to £8, I'm gonna say. That's the price it's sort of going for right now. Right, so moving on to the SMGs, we have the MP7 Cyrus, which is also factory new, as you can see, and this is around 50p as well. Now I've chosen this over the other blue MP7s, one because it's the cheaper one out of most of them, and two, it just looks better. Like, it's just, I think because the CS2 lighting, having guns that are shiny just are more appealing to me, just because I feel like it utilizes and makes the skin pop out more. Like having a dull matte skin is all right, but I feel like with the new lighting you kind of want it to shine just so it can like be in your face kind of thing. Right, so moving on, we have the Mac 10 Malachite, or Malachite, I think that's how it's pronounced, in factory new for around £9. Now, this is a bit questionable because it looks slightly more green than blue. However, if you go on a site called csgoskins.gg, it says the color is cyan. Now, what does that mean? It looks green, but it's actually blue. However, if you do want more of an actual blue skin, I have a backup for you. Hold your horses. As you can see, the backup option is the indigo in minimal wear, which is around £5. And this obviously fits more into the theme of blue because it's very much obviously blue, not a mint green looking color, even though it's cyan. But yeah, I feel like this fits more, but I prefer the Malachite just because it just looks better. It just looks better. Right, moving on to the UMP, we have the UMP Exposure, which is coming in at £2 in factory new. And then we have the P90 Traction, which honestly is, for a blue, is a very good looking skin. And this is also factory new, and it comes in around £1. And for this look of skin for £1, that's a fucking bargain if you tell me. Now here we have the lowest rating skin I think I've ever seen in my life. This is a grey skin. Why would I put a grey skin in this list? Well, because it looks good. It's the most simple, clean Bison that is blue out there. And I know I said I like my shiny skins, but there are no good ones for the Bison. This is the best one. The Seabird comes in at £2 in factory new. And also, bonus for this skin, you can trade up to a Wild Lotus AK-47, which is around 12 grand in factory new. If you're very lucky with your trade ups and you hit every single one with probably like a 2% chance each time you trade up. But if you hit every single one, there's 12 grand in your pocket. So you're living life. For the AK, I have 3 options. Basically, I've got a cheap, middle, expensive option. Personally, this is not my cup of tea, which is the ice cold. Not really a fan of it. However, I know a lot of people like it. It very much fits into this theme. And in factory new, it only costs £25. And for an AK, that's not that much. Now here, again, slightly questionable based on the color, but we've got the Aquamarine Revenge in factory new. This particular AK is probably one of my favorite AKs in the game, which is around 80-ish pounds, maybe around 90. This is one of my favorite AK skins in the entire game, and it is the AK Vulcan. I just love this skin. I don't know what it is about it. It's simplistic, it's so clean, just an all-round beautiful skin. Now, this particular one, to fill it in like a more reasonable budget for a loadout, I've gone for a field tested version, but for a good field tested version, you want it to be around a 0.2 float, because otherwise the entire mag's going to be scratched up. Even like at 0.3, the mag is completely gone. Basically, like the sides are really scratched up still. So a 0.2 is when it starts to look copeable to deal, you know? And so you're going to be expected to spend around 200 to 250 for a good field tested Vulcan, unless you want to bump it up to a minimal wear, which will make it look a lot better. That will then make it around 300 to 400 if that's what you're going for. Next up, we have the AURT. Now we've gone for the Sun in Leo in minimal wear, which is around £15 personally. Beautiful looking skin. That's all I can say. It's a beautiful looking skin. Simple, clean, lovely. Gets the job done. Now, if you really wanted to go that extra mile, and if you're rich as fuck, you could always go for the AURT Gungnir. Now, this particular one's battle scarred. It's literally the first one. Well, it's the only one actually listed on D-Market right now. This one's 6 grand and it's battle scarred. So think about what like a factory new minimal wear would be. Ridiculous. So if you have money, feel free. This can be yours. This is my favorite AURT skin in the game. I want this skin. So if quick ad break. This is not sponsored by D-Market. However, if anyone from D-Market is watching this video, you know, I'm trying to build the blue loadout. You know, there's a couple skins that aren't really accessible for me right now. So, you know, if someone would like to help me out, you know where to get me. Right, so now we're back down to earth with the regular price skins. We have gone for the Galil Stone Cold in factory new for around £7. Again, the shine on it in this new CS2 lighting, beautiful. And then for the SSG, we have gone for the Abyss in factory new, which is around £3. The really cool thing about this skin, the pattern is 1. I think that's pretty cool. I'm just saying, like, the pattern is the #1 pattern, like quite literally the #1 pattern. So I think that is that's quite sick in my opinion. And then to finish off with the ARs, we have the Anodized Navy SG553. Again, simple, shiny, black and blue, can't go wrong. Moving on to the USPS, we have the Black Lotus, which this is also factory new and it's around £5. Now, it's a beautiful looking skin. I feel like it's a slightly more purple than blue, but it fits still. However, I have got a secondary option for you who think this is slightly too purple. We have the USPS Blueprint in factory new, which is around £35. Now, there's a big difference for the two different skins. One's 5, one's 35. Not as big as the Glock difference, but now I personally would prefer to use this skin. However, I think the look of the Black Lotus with like the flowers on it and stuff, it's just overall a nicer skin, but this fits more into the theme. Like, it's more blue than the Lotus, but the Lotus looks nicer. So that's why I've gone for that. Right, so for the next CT pistol, we have the 5.7 foul play, which comes in around £7 in factory new. Now, moving on to the SMGs, we have the MP5 co-processor. Again, it's simple, it's shiny, it's blue, and in factory new, it's only £1. You wouldn't like that. For the MP9, it's a bit of a sticky one because there's not really any blue skin. So I've gone for the featherweight with blue stickers on, which will bring you around, I'd say £2 to £3, depending on the stickers you go for. The skin itself you can get for around 50p to £1, depending on the float in factory new. The MP9 doesn't really have any blue skins. The only skins that are blue are the Wild Lily, Pandora's Box, and Stained Glasses. Now, the Wild Lily is around £1,000 cheapest. Pandora's Box, again, is probably like £100 to £200 cheapest. And Stained Glass is also around £100 cheapest. So I don't really think that is a viable option for most people. Now, this is simple. You get to choose the stickers. It's black, it's white, and blue. Done. What more could you ask for? And you get to make it yourself. DIY, motherfucker. Moving on to the ARs, we have everyone's favorite waifu, the Temikau M4A4. Now, minimal wear, this is around £80. And to be honest, it's probably one of the only blue M4 skins out there that are actually looking good. And then for the M4A1S, we've gone for the Hyper Beast, but this one isn't field tested and it's around £20. So I think this fits beautifully, even though it has like this, the pink, the red, the green. The entire top of the gun is blue. The underlay of the skin is navy. It just fits perfectly. Now we're moving on to the FAMAS. We have the lovely Scion Spatter, and this is a very peculiar looking skin because it's a light blue, not just blue, it's light blue. It's the one above grey. It costs £1 in factory new and it's scratched to shit. Again, I don't know what it is with CS and Valve or whatever making these skins scratched to shit in factory new. Like, if it's come out of a factory, why does it look like this? Why has it been dragged across the floor? You know, it doesn't make sense. Now, to finish off the ARs for the video, we have the Org Aristocrat, and this is a beautiful looking skin. It looks old, like antique with the way the etching is, and it's got like a nice shiny navy blue, which is lovely. And factory new, this comes in at £2. Now that we're done with the main skins, I'm going to show you a couple knives and a couple gloves that will fit for this build. Here is my personal knife, the one I'm using right now. It is a flip knife Doppler phase 3, and with the new CS2 lighting, I've basically scammed my way into getting a sapphire, because if you look at that, it is, some people actually can't tell the difference, especially here. That would look like what a sapphire looked like in CSGO. So scam your way out of a sapphire, get a Doppler phase 3. You could also get a butterfly knife, bright water. It's blue. It was literally just different shades of blue. You could use that, get any skin. There's multiple skins with this. This was just the first one that popped up, so this is why I'm showing this as an example. Right, so for the gloves, I've gone for two different options. We've either got Polygon, so these particular ones are field tested and they're around £200. It depends on the float, but these particular ones are £200 in field tested. So these would fit perfectly because, well, see, they're all blue. But then we also have the Cobalt Skulls hand wraps. Personally, I don't like hand wraps. I don't like the fingers showing. Like, I just think it looks disgusting. There are a couple other blue gloves, like you can get the marble fade because the main part of the glove is blue, but obviously you got all the other colors on it. You got the amphibious sports gloves, but they're $700 for field tested, so I don't know if that's what you'd want to spend. You've got like the mint, like cool mint, I think they're called, and they're like sort of like greeny blue. There's quite a few different gloves you can go for, but these are the two that I think fit best and they're more reasonably priced. However, for hand wraps, these are field tested and they're £350, so bear that in mind. Hand wraps are expensive as fuck for some reason. Right, so if you have enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me if there are a couple blue skins that I missed that you think would fit better than others. Let me know. And yeah, it's good to be back, and I shall see you in the next one.